Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss on the concepts of electroluminescence along with my co-presenter Kaustav. First of all, let's delve into the word electroluminescence. What do we understand by electroluminescence? If we break this word, is this big term into two parts. Electro. Electro means electricity, and luminescence means to emit light. So if I combine the meanings of both the words, it means that I am providing certain electrical supply and I am getting light energy as my output. I am emitting the light as an output. So this is how I have given an introduction on the main topic of our today's presentation. Now Costa will discuss upon the topics that we will discuss. Okay, so this is the main concept of our today's presentation, electroluminescence. Electroluminescence, like I have given a brief overview in the beginning, but now I will take you to the definition. Electroluminescence is an optical and electrical phenomena where a material emits light in the response to an electric field or an electric current. So just like in this diagram we can see that we have conduction band and valence band. So what happens? Let's discuss this whole concept. First of all, we connect our semiconductor to an external voltage supply. Now, if I have connected that external voltage supply, it will supply some electric field. So it will accelerate the charges. So an electric current will be produced. So when this electric current will it will pass through a semiconductor. So what will happen is those charges will excite the electrons present in those semiconductor atoms. It means that the electrons in those semiconductor atoms will gain energy. So now we know that there are two bands uh, in our materials. Like it can be conductor, it can be insulator, it can be anything, but there are mainly two bands. First is valence band and second is conduction band. Valence band is the band or the orbit which is the outermost orbit of an atom, which has the highest possible energy for that atom. Now, what is conduction band? Conduction band is the band where electrons can move freely. It means that the electrons cannot experience that nuclear force exerted by nucleus. Whereas in the valence band, the electrons experience that nuclear force due to that nucleus, due to which they cannot move freely in the valence band. Most important thing here is that conduction band has more energy than valence band. Okay, this is the most important thing. Now, what will happen is when we'll supply that electric current to a semiconductor. So, what will happen is that the electrons present in those atoms will be excited because they will gain energy due to electricity. So, when they will gain energy, they will excite, and they will excite from lower energy level to higher energy level. So, the electrons present in a valence band in the outermost shell will be excited and they will be jumped to the conduction band where electrons can move freely. Okay, because when they will gain energy, now there is no orbit outside the valence band because valence band is the outermost orbit of an atom. So when the electron will gain energy, it will go outside the atom, and where it will go? It will go to the conduction band where electrons can move freely without experiencing any force due to an atom. So now the main concept starts. When the electron excites from valence band to conduction band, and hole is created. A hole is created in our valence band because electron has jumped from valence to conduction. So the space in that valence band is now empty. So a hole is created there. Okay. Now what will happen is that electron which is now in a conduction band and now hole is in a valence band. Okay. So this electron will de-excite automatically. First it excited, first electron was in valence band, it gains energy, then it jumped to the conduction band. Hole is created in the valence band. Okay. Now what will happen? Automatically, naturally, you can say the electron will come back to the valence band, and when electron will come back to the valence band, it will recombine with the hole. It will recombine with the hole, and as the electron came from conduction band to valence band, so it must have lost some energy. It must have lost some energy. So that energy which the electron lost when it de-excited from conduction band to the valence band, that energy is emitted or released from the atom or the semiconductor atoms in form of light energy. So this is the whole concept of electroluminescence using semiconductor. When we supply electric current to the semiconductor, what happens is that the excited the electron got excited from valence to conduction, a hole is created, then electron will come back to the valence band, so recombination of electron and hole will take place. Now as electron uh, came from conduction to valence, it will lose some energy, and that energy will be in the form of light energy. So through this process we have understood that how in a semiconductor we can convert electrical energy to the light energy, and this is the concept of electroluminescence. So yeah, so now Costa will explain the types that what how can we classify each and every type of luminescence. Yeah, hand over to you. Okay, so now it's time for LED. LED, I feel that it's a very important topic in this forum today, because LED is a device which is based on the concept of electroluminescence, and therefore it was very important for me, for both of us, to discuss LED with you, because it is based on the concept of electroluminescence. It's a very crucial application of electroluminescence, you can say that. First of all, if we look over to the full form of LED, it is light emitting diode. Diode, we all know, it's a device which conducts electricity in one direction. Light emitting. What is light emitting mean here? So light emitting diode means a diode which glows, a diode which emits light. And what kind of diode? PN diode, a normal PN diode which we are always study, which we are studying from since class 12th. That simple PN diode, but it's a special kind of PN diode which emits light energy. Okay, and we all know, when we'll connect that PN diode with the electrical supply, electric current will be given, and that if it's glowing, then it will be converted into electrical energy. So this electrical energy to light energy, again you can correlate that it's a concept of electroluminescence. Okay, so one more important question: why LED? Why we are using a diode to emit light? We have light bulbs in our home, we have CFCs, we have so many alternate options. Why we are using a PN diode for this, for getting light energy? The very simple solution to this question is that the light bulbs or the common CFCs etc. we use in our homes carry a lot of resistance, because their filaments are not flexible, or their durability is very weak. So they offer a very high resistance part to the electric current we are supplying, due to which it loses its majority of energy as heat, but we wanted majority of our energy as light, because the main function which we are expecting is to get light. But if it is losing maximum energy as heat, and it is dissipating in the atmosphere for no reason, then it is wastage of power, wastage of money, wastage of so many things. Okay, so we need a better option which can provide us a long time, which can provide us a long lifetime also. Because if you see, the light bulbs usually they got exhausted in few days, but LEDs, you can use it for months. LEDs we can use it for months. If they are good quality, then they can even go in then they can even pass 1 year also. So LEDs basically they offer low resistance part, due to which most of the energy is converted into light rather than heat. So in simple words, I can say that the efficiency of LED is very 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 far better than our light bulbs, our traditional light bulbs in our homes. So it's a better option to use LED, as it has tungsten in it, and we can see that the light bulbs that we use, they dissipate 90 to 95% of energy as heat, so it's so much wasted. So LED is a better alternative. And through this graph we can see that these two are traditional light bulbs. We can see these are CFL bulbs, and these are very common, very like they're still found in the local areas. So you can compare that their efficiency is so much low. दे आर मोस्टली कन्वर्टिंग, मतलब जितनी हम इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी दे रहे हैं उसे ये दोनों मोस्टली क्या कर रहे हैं, उसको हीट में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं रेदर देन लाइट. बट हमारे जो एलईडी बल्ब्स है आप देख सकते हो कि ये ज़्यादातर लाइट एमिट कर रहे हैं, ना कि हीट. देन दिस हाउ डू एलईडीज वर्क विल बी एक्सप्लेन बाय कॉस्ट. Next is excitation and de-excitation. So I have told excitation and de-excitation very briefly few minutes back. I would just wind it up quickly because it's already been discussed. We can see that when a PN diode is constructed. Now, how a PN diode is constructed? There is a p-type semiconductor which contains holes as majority carriers. We have n-type semiconductor which contains electrons as majority of carriers. So when we join them, when we join p and n type, we know that p and n both are semiconductors only. No, both are semiconductors now. And we have studied in the introduction also that in these semiconductors there is a band gap between conduction band and valence band. Now see, the next topic that we'll briefly look over is the mathematical equations. So in that we will learn a term which is band gap energy. So I think it's a perfect time for me to explain that. What is band gap energy? So band gap energy is the energy level difference between our conduction band and our valence band. So when our electron got de-excited from conduction band to the valence band, it loses light energy, and that light energy is equal to our band gap energy. बेसिकली जो एनर्जी डिफरेंस है ना हमारा, जब इलेक्ट्रॉन पहले कंडक्शन में था तो उसके पास हायर एनर्जी थी, फिर जब वो वैलेंस में आया वापस तो उसके पास लोअर एनर्जी हो गई. तो जो एनर्जी निकली वो एनर्जी इन दोनों के डिफरेंस के बराबर होगी, और इन दोनों के कंडक्शन और वैलेंस के डिफरेंस जो होता है वो होता है बैंड गैप एनर्जी के इक्वल. ठीक है, तो वही यहाँ पे लिखा है कि बैंड गैप बन जाता है. ठीक है, और फिर ये है कंडक्शन बैंड है, वैलेंस बैंड है, और जब हमारा इलेक्ट्रॉन डी एक्साइट होता है तो वो बैंड गैप एनर्जी के इक्वल ही एनर्जी रिलीज करता है. और प्लैंक्स, अभी हम आगे प्लैंक के बारे में बात करेंगे. प्लैंक ने ये कहा था कि जब इलेक्ट्रॉन डी एक्साइट होता है तो फोटोन के फॉर्म में एनर्जी एमिट करता है, और उस फोटोन की जो एनर्जी होती है वो उसके फ्रीक्वेंसी के डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल होती है. तो हमें डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसीज पे या डिफरेंट डिफरेंट वेवलेंथ्स में हमें डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ EM वेव्स भी मिलती है. दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन कि हमारा बैंड गैप एनर्जी कितनी होती है. ठीक है, तो ये हमारे पास एक वीडियो है. जस्ट अ सेकेंड, इट्स प्लेइंग. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? जस्ट अ सेकेंड. हाँ, so in this video we can see that there is a p-type semiconductor. We can see that there is a p-type semiconductor and an n-type semiconductor. Okay, now when we join these p-type and n-type semiconductor, we can see that the electrons move from high concentration to low concentration, that is from n side to p side. We can see that these electrons are going, and as these electrons are coming from n to p, we can see that their holes are being created in the n side, because electrons are going from n to p, so automatically holes are created in our n side. So let's pause it. So we can see that when p and n are connected together, because of the concentration difference, electron moves from n to p, due to which holes are created in our n side, and because of this our depletion region is formed. Now we won't go deep into that because it would take our unnecessary time. We already know. So a depletion region is formed which contains a barrier voltage, and no more charge carriers can pass through this region. Now what we are seeing is let me know. So here we can see that the electric field is there, and that electric field won't allow any more charge carrier to pass through. Now in forward bias, if p side is in plus and n side is in minus, we can see this is p side in plus and this is n side in minus. So we can see again a large amount of charge carriers are passing through the junction. So when an electron falls from conduction band into a hole, yeah, this is the concept I was looking for in this whole animation. You can see, like we can again rewind. We can see this is an electron and this electron is coming from, this is our conduction band, and I have already told you that the energy in conduction band is more than in valence band. So electron jumped from this conduction band to this valence band. Okay, so earlier this electron was in valence band, but when we gave it electrical energy, it jumped to the conduction band, then it come back to the valence band. So so now you can see it is coming back to the valence band, and as it comes from conduction to valence, it loses some energy, and this energy it loses, it is in form of light energy. So hence we can say that the semiconductor atoms emit light when we supply electrical energy through them. Okay, so yeah, this is band gap. Cost of we can discuss it more. Now, what is the maths behind LED? So band gap energy I have discussed in so many times that band gap energy is the energy level difference between our conduction band and valence band. Okay, so when an electron de-excites from our conduction to valence, so it loses energy which is equal to band gap energy. Okay, and as conduction and band has more energy, so this value will be in positive. Okay, then next is for yeah, this is I have discussed what's Planck's constant, Planck's theory. Planck said that when an electron de-excite, it loses energy in form of photons, and one photon carries energy equal to h into nu, where h is Planck's constant and nu is frequency. Then wavelength of emitted light. So we know that when electron came from conduction to valence, it loses energy, and that energy is equal to band gap energy. So by Planck's formula I can say band gap energy is equal to hc by lambda. Okay, and from this formula I can derive the equation for wavelength, that is equal to L lambda is equal to hc by band gap energy, and this is the wavelength of our emitted photon. Okay, so yeah, now few more equations. Kaustav will take over from here. Thank you.